Welcome to RCTV Roundup and News. This week we're going to be taking a look at the GoPro 4 release on the Engadget website. As you can see from the specs here, the GoPro 4 doesn't have a great deal up its sleeve. However, it does have some functions that I am really looking forward to. 4K was always an attractive feature on this camera, but now we can have 4K at 30 frames per second, so we can use it properly as 4K was intended. This will be great if you want to punch in on those shots. Essentially what 4K does give you is 4 times the same size as a 1080p frame, so you can now crop that down to a quarter scale in a 1080p timeline and not lose any quality. Well done, GoPro. Now a story that was shown on one of the forums on Facebook that I follow by a guy called Jason Kobler, and it's about a guy that had his Phantom shot by a shotgun by one of his neighbours, and the story is called "My Neighbour Blasted My Drone with a Shotgun." Now I'm guessing anybody that's got a Phantom that calls it a drone isn't one of the strong members of the community. Maybe that's someone that's just bought one and is flying alone. As you know, we try to steer away from the word drone when possible, because it's something that the media are using, a word like a buzzword, to create this kind of hysteria and panic around these things. We all know they're just toys. We're flying them around. As you get older, your toys get bigger, and that's all the Phantoms are and the other copters. It says in the story that you can't zoom in and see people's faces with any definition, or really spy on people, and that's what the guy that shot the Phantom was saying. Oh, he was spying. But it's an interesting story. There'll be a link in the description below to that. So Alex Grieve has released a video where he tests RHCP and LHCP antennas with each other to see if they create interference, and to see whether you can run on the same frequencies with LHCP on one and RHCP on another. It's a really interesting video. Let's take a quick look at that now.
Hi, I'm Alex Grieve, better known as IB Crazy.
And I'm Mark Ashton, M Ashton 1138.
And we're here to test a theory. The theory is that two pilots can fly on the same band with minimal interference if they're using a right hand and a left hand polarized antenna. So one pilot would use right hand circular, the other pilot would use left hand circular, and the belief is this would give adequate rejection to allow them both to fly on the same band. So that means no more interference for pilots that both want to share 1.3 or both want to share the 5.8 band. So I'm hoping this is a success.
Alright guys, while Alex is over here monkeying with the plane, I'm going to fill you in on the procedures we're going to use for the test. The way we're going to do this is Alex is going to fly his plane, his Spectre V3. He's going to fly on 1280. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take our ready to fly FPV kit. I'm going to set it to 1258. While he's out flying on 1280, I'm going to power up 1258, and we're going to see what we get with a baseline, taking a set of Bluebeam whips, just a skew planer wheel on the ground station and clover leaves on the 2 transmitters, and see if I can knock Alex out, and how far away, really, before we have problems.
Changing polarizations between channels definitely gives you more separation. I mean, I had to be right on top of that thing to knock you out and actually get my video to take over. And then, but when we switched polarizations, I got all the way out to the roadway. I mean, granted, it wasn't clear, but I could see.
So the full video will be over on IB Crazy's channel. Thanks very much for letting us use that, Alex. Really, impressed with the results, and I'm looking forward to see how this moves on further down the line. I'm setting up a racing club for 250s and mini quads around that size, mini tricopters, hexas and so on. we're going to be running LHCP and RHCP antennas to see if we can get a few more craft in the air at the same time. So it's interesting your findings there for me. So last week, in fact no, the week before, I mentioned a story about a guy called Nick Morton who was advertising a Phantom online on eBay. Now one of the let me just explain, I'm a member of a few forums outside of Facebook, but on Facebook there's some really good little forums popping up on there, group pages and so on, and one of those that I belong to is First Person Flying Quads Planes, and it's a group on Facebook. I will put a link in the description to it. There's some good guys on there, a lot of knowledge. Some of the UK and USA sellers also post on there, so you know it's a good community. Anyway, one of the guys found this guy selling a Phantom 2 Vision that had landed in his garden, and he said, oh, you know, there's no controller with it, and there's no charger with it, but it's for sale. So someone asked him a question, how come you've got it if you haven't got a controller? And he said, he actually wrote in the description, it just landed in my garden. I went out there, it was all right, so I'm sticking it on eBay. Well, someone very quickly pointed out that this is theft by stealing. So I PM'd him, a few other people PM'd him, and then I went back on there and I was feeling a little bit mischievous. So I suggested we should go on there and bid £1,000, you know, let's see what his reaction is. So by the time I got over there, someone had already been bid 10 grand. Or say someone, the bidding had already taken it up to 10,000 from a 1,000 bid. Then I looked again and it was at 12k. Now this is £12,000 UK, and then it was at 20, which I screen grabbed, and then somebody else sent a screen grab in of their bid at 30,000. So the guy must have been, I'd love to see his face when he was watching his Phantom Vision go up, you know, sort of 1,000 at a time, and then 2,000 at a time, and then 10,000 at a time. It must have been quite something to watch. Anyway, after about 45 minutes of jiggery pokery and us lot trying to teach the guy a lesson, the eBay sale of it was taken down. But if you've lost a quad, a Phantom Vision, in, I think it's the Northumberland area. If I'm wrong, I'll post a sort of an area guide to where this was. The guy's name's Nick Morton. He's got your quadcopter, so I will put that up here. You can inform the local police that this guy has stolen your quad. That is if you want to being a numpty and having it fly away or running out of battery or whatever. So there you go. That was quite a funny story. Quite a funny situation to be part of on the forum. The guys that were there, we were all having a bit of a chuckle, a bit naughty, but it was funny. So, video of the week goes to, when I say I'm really pleased, I couldn't be more pleased about this. It's gone to Ricardo, the quadriplegic flying a quad. Ricardo, the guys that have shown support for you, hopefully are doing you proud. I want to see more of you flying, and I really would like to see you get others that are as unfortunate as you are out there flying. You know, the more people that you can bring from the disabled community into the sport, it's got to be a great thing. I've thought about it, I really have sat and thought about it. Being stuck in that wheelchair must suck like I can't even imagine. And being able to do this must be something beautiful, and if you can get other people that are in an unfortunate situation like that to come and try it, and they get to grips with it, it can be it can't be anything better than a fantastic thing. So congratulations to you I'm afraid you've won absolutely nothing as usual. If we do get some support from one of the manufacturers, maybe we can start to give some stuff away. That would be absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, we have a zero budget at RCTVUK. I struggle to put props on my 250s most weeks, so I'm afraid I can't stick things in the post for you, but hopefully someone will come on board and offer some prizes up for video of the week. So guys, this week there's going to be 6 videos up for going up for the title of video of the week. We're going to start off with Thomas and Paul from BMS Web. I would like to put forward the iPhone 6 240 frames per second test. This is a great video from the guys at BMS Web. Let's check it out. Number 2 this week really did make me chuckle. In fact, I don't think I've laughed this much as at an FPV video in quite some time. This is FPV Dog by That HPI guy.
And it flies on a 1.8 horsepower right. Or a 22 freestyle. 5-inch prop.
Don't shake.
Yeah, a 5-inch prop, yeah, and it goes 150 mile an hour. So do you selling these out?
No. Okay. I bet people want to buy them all when they see
What, you say, what's the little camera?
Go away.
That's what you should do, put one on cat and every time she hides somewhere, we'll know she's hiding.
Yeah.
They're doing that, I'm telling you. You see, you just
You're lovely, yeah. What they doing to you? What they doing to you?
Any hiding
What they
place.
doing to you?
Like, do it all the time, don't we? And she'll put in it, and she'll get it.
I've got 4. One doesn't come back. It'll come back like once every 4 weeks.
She doesn't really leave the house. She leaves the house, it's like a 2-second.
Number 3 this week, we've got Riser with FPV Dreamer. So there we go guys, Riser becoming one of our favourites and one of a lot of you favourites. Everybody that's watching a 250 is probably watching Riser's channel. Bruce from XJet and RC Model Reviews is also watching this guy closely. Definitely worth keeping an eye on this one, he is pushing things to the limit. Next up we've got video number 4, Mobius Boom Cam on a Blackout by 7 Demo 7. In at number 5 this week, we've got Freedom by Jim Council. I really like this video. There's some superb flying, some superb shots, and I love the way Jim has put this edit together. Last but not least this week, we've got Eurofighter FPV Maiden. This is a really super video by est1983 Gmail. I haven't really seen a Eurofighter or anything of this description running on 6S used in an FPV situation before, and as you can see here, he has really taken it out and given it a good thrash round.
Ready, aim, fire.
So there you have it, guys. That brings us to the end of this week's RCTV UK. Coming up in episodes on the channel, I've just been sent a little KK 2.1 mini. You know, the little mini KK. That's in there. That was kindly sent to me by 4 props. I'll put the name in the window next to me here, but I was talking to the owner the other day, and he said, look, I've got one of these kicking around, don't buy one, I'll send it down to you, you can have a play with it and send it back. So it's really nice of him to do that for me. The Triclone tricopter is almost at its final stages. I did put it up on the Facebook page for pre-order. But I was using these 3D printed arms on the front of it. That isn't the total width of an arm, there's other bits that go on this as well, but I was using these 3D printed bits, and I've crashed it, and for a couple of weeks we had no dramas, and then 3 in a row broke. I'm not going to design and sell you a quad that isn't as bulletproof as possible. So these have now gone by the by. We're throwing them away. We're going full carbon composite on the front. This thing is really going to be tough. I wish I could show it to you now, but I can't. I'm afraid you're going to have to wait. So there it is, guys. I will see you all again this time next week. Bye for now.